Yo, what's up, bro?
Hey, where y'all been? I just been trying to talk basketball with the boys, bro.
Hey, you know that. Man, so we good. Let's get
out my
this
seat.
thing going. My bad, man. Had some things going on last week.
You know what it is, man. Last night took a L, but tonight I bounced back.
We don't use that song anymore.
Last week.
You be watching the podcast. I know, I do. I thought, when I first found out, when I first saw that, I was like, wow, that's hard. It was smooth. Yeah. I was like, James really acting up on this.
Yo, but for real, that new beat. Shout out Shaye Stone on that one.
Shaye Stone,
she did her
that's
thing.
a nice instrumental right there.
That stuff hard.
All right, anyway. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bounce Back Podcast. This is episode 10. We're in double digits now, man. That's crazy. 10 weeks of this. Episode 10, March Madness Rundown. This is the Bounce Back Podcast. I'm your host, Dylan Young, with my friends, of course, Keenan Chafin, James Wilson, and Maxwell Woods, and our cameraman, fact check guy, Tyler Britt.
Yes, sir.
Guys, March has been crazy. You know, we're in the Final Four now. Kind of if you want my honest opinion, it's a lame Final Four.
It's a terrible
I don't really like it too much. But anyway, let's go ahead and just talk about, we don't really want to talk about our bracket because our bracket didn't do so well.
Our bracket busted.
It did well the first
We have no one in the Final Four.
2 days.
Nobody.
No.
So here's what's up with the show. Instead of talking about our busted bracket, we're just going to talk about the first round, the round of 32, the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, and a little bit of the Final Four preview that, we finish off with today, getting started with on Saturday. So, guys, let's get right into the first round. One of the more kind of bad picks we took was Syracuse. I had a lot of hope for Syracuse beating Baylor. I actually had a lot of hope for Syracuse making a run.
They did last year.
Yeah, and the past 2 times they've been in the tournament, they've made a run and even got to the Final Four one of those years. I think it was 2017 or 16.
That zone defense is real.
Yeah,
It is real.
Wasn't that real?
Yeah,
not this year.
Hey man, that Syracuse and Baylor game. What was the score of that game, James?
69-78.
So it was a close game. It was a close game.
It was about a 10-point game.
It was a fun game to watch.
It was.
I don't know if y'all watched it, but I watched that game.
I saw the highlights, and it literally was going back and forth for a while, and then Baylor kind of just pulled away.
Yeah, Baylor started out hitting threes, and then Hughes comes back, starts hitting threes, and then they come out in that second half, and they're just going back and forth, and then Baylor just kind of broke away there at the end and finished the game off. Next game, this was one of the better individual matchups to watch, player versus player. That's Marcus Howard, a leading scorer, and John Morant, another leading scorer in the NCAA. And, man, John Morant brought the madness to March, man.
He did.
Man,
Trip dog?
smooth.
Trip dog?
Versus Draymond.
Smooth.
Yeah, Draymond Green, man. People forget how good of a college basketball player Draymond Green was.
Yeah,
He did get a lot of respect.
At Michigan State. Yeah,
He played just the same way. You know what I'm saying? You don't got to be fancy to get to the league, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
just play your role.
He played his role and he got there, you know? He still do.
So, let's talk about this game. Let's go in depth with this game. Keenan, what did you see? John Morant, Marcus Howard, anything you want to point out?
Coming in, they said Marcus Howard would hurt. So you could see it a little bit with how Marquette was struggling because they were down early and they never really recovered. But Ja's real. He's top 3 NBA pick.
Ooh.
I agree.
I do, too.
I agree with that. James, you don't?
Second.
I think he's the best point guard available, and I think it depends on what the ranking of the draft is because the Suns are going to take him.
Yes, the Sun has to take him.
So if the Suns go first, I think the Suns take him.
No way.
Yeah.
Because
you don't pick Zion first?
I think he goes.
This ain't like a Zion. This ain't like a who you picking first thing. But
right. But I think
pretty tough.
Wherever the Suns fall is where John Morant falls.
Okay, I respect that.
Okay, but I don't think he goes first. I think the Suns got first. I think they get.
If you pick Zion,
the Suns, the only thing the Suns are missing is a point guard.
That's true, but
jeez, but Zion.
I think I'm not saying they won't, but I think maybe if you get Zion, you got to grab somebody in free agency. But
what are you gonna do with Ayton though?
That's the question.
What are you gonna do with Ayton?
Yeah. That's good. We'll save that. We'll put that on the table. Save that.
Yeah.
But a little bit, John Morant. He's been doing his thing all season, and last year he's probably the most improved player too, as well as
definitely.
up there with a national player as well. Because last year he didn't really have a good year.
I didn't even know who he was.
I didn't know who he was last year, honestly. Yeah, I didn't know who he was, and then I saw him tweet something last March and saying I will be back or something. And he did it. He came back, got to the round of 32. But shout out John Moran in that game, beat Marcus Howard and Marquette.
Yeah.
Another one I was wrong on specifically was I thought Yale was going to beat LSU. And the reason I thought that was because Yale can shoot the 3-ball. They shot awful that game. I don't have the statistics pulled up or anything right now, but the final score of that game, LSU 79, Yale 74. So if Yale made 2 more threes, they would have won that game.
Yeah.
That's all they needed. They shot.
I mean, it was close.
Horrible. They shot horrible. LSU made a little bit of a run.
Yeah.
What do you all think about that, Keenan?
LSU's running the
bracket? Yeah, because people.
I think that speaks on how deep the SEC was this year.
Yeah. And people really thought LSU was going to fall off after that Will Wade suspension and, their players getting suspended and, just mentality games. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it just kind of affected them. But I think they held together pretty well.
Yeah, they beat the teams they were supposed to beat. And then they ran up against Michigan State, obviously, who's really super talented.
Yeah, I mean, they got
Michigan State could have been number 1 seed.
You got to the Elite 8, though. Yeah. That's a successful season for LSU.
That's good.
An Elite 8 appearance is a successful season. I fully agree on that.
Now they're going to lose Lamonte. They're going to lose Nas.
Yeah, Nas Reed was their best player.
Dude, he's tough. I've been on
this tournament, man.
That's my guy. I don't know him, Nas. I don't know you, but I've been on the fan base.
For real. One of the games we got wrong, we were really big on Belmont in the Bounce Back podcast bracket. We were really big on Belmont. Yeah. We thought they could make a run.
They should have won that game. They should have won that game. That's one of the games that should have been won.
I don't think I might have watched a little bit of highlights of the game, but that's not one of the games that I tuned into in the first round. So I
caught the end.
I don't have much to say about that game. I'm just kind of mad. I don't really like Maryland, honestly.
I don't hate Maryland, but I don't know.
I don't even know any Maryland fans. No, I mean, are any of you all Maryland fans? If so, leave me a comment. I'm trying to talk with y'all. Like, come on, like, why? No, I'm joking. Let's move on. Another first round game. That really was kind of surprising is Oregon and the run that they put together after beating Wisconsin. Oregon gets all the way to the Elite 8.
Mm-hmm.
Loses to Virginia.
The worst game
in a non-dramatic fashion.
Oh, boy.
But Oregon and Wisconsin, there's not much to say about that game. It's just Oregon was a 12th seed. That's just very unnatural.
If they had Bobo, they probably would have made a deep run.
They'd probably still be in the games right now.
They would have beat Virginia for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Oregon's always a team that you can't sleep on because they always have athletes and they always... Yeah. You know what I mean? Some people just go to Oregon just for the gear.
What's that guy?
He's been there
their
for a
best
minute.
Player. No, he's like a freshman.
Oh, I thought you were talking about...
He's a freshman. He's cold, man. He's probably going to go league.
I don't watch many Pac-12 games.
He'll be a top 15
They got the late
pick.
Games.
Yeah, wow.
He'll be a top 15 pick.
Man, I can't really catch him.
I mean, and the Pac-12 hasn't been a power league this year. So
find this kid for me, please, brother. He plays for Oregon. He's like a small forward, light skin.
Small forward, light skin.
Yeah, good luck. good luck.
He plays for Oregon. He's real skinny.
Oh, man. All right, yeah. Tyler, we'll wait on you to fact-check that Oregon player right there. But we did get that pick right. We did say Oregon over Wisconsin. Yeah. But then we had UC Irvine, University of California, Irvine, beating Oregon to get to the Sweet 16.
Had them beating UVA.
And, yeah, we had.
Who did that?
Did we have to go to the Final Four?
James, that was you.
I think it was me and Max.
Yeah.
I think it was a combined
I was
effort.
like feeling it.
Yeah.
He said he knew about it.
First of all, you can't say it was me because it was a group decision. Yeah.
It was a majority rule, but I don't know.
Yes.
You got it, Tyler?
Yes.
Is it Miles Norris?
No.
Not Miles Norris.
Lewis King.
It's Lewis King.
Luke King.
So he's a hooper.
Yeah, he's a hooper. He's tough. I remember watching him in high school. He'll go to the league.
Okay, well, we just got done talking about UC Irvine. Beat one of my Final Four, way too early Final Four predictions in Kansas State. They beat Kansas State in the first round.
I knew that. I saw that coming.
Yeah, we all
that team had Max Hazard. You got John Edgar. Like the team was good. They have some hoopers from Cali that.
They were the hottest team coming into the tournament too, on a winning streak.
No,
I'm not sure how many they. I think it was like 18 or 19 wins.
Yeah, I knew
something like that. We go off the top of the head on this podcast. This is all natural. No, we don't have it yet. It's a freestyle podcast. So if we know the stats in our head right now, it's been a busy week too. So watching all these college basketball games, there's a lot of numbers to keep up with. Auburn and New Mexico State. The reason why I'm bringing this game up in the first round is because Auburn almost loses to New Mexico State. Then goes on to beat 3 blue blood teams in Kansas, blew them out. Blew out North Carolina.
Literally the 3 blue blood schools.
No comment on Kentucky.
Sorry,
okay.
okay.
And
Not yet, at
is
least.
now in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Bruce.
Their run
Yeah.
is amazing, and I respect it.
Yeah, I know. No, you have to. I mean, there's nothing else you can do. But we talked about this before about lucky teams.
Yeah.
Auburn's the luckiest team.
You think so?
In the
I don't know, man. I think Auburn, Bruce Pearl, when O'Keely got hurt, and I don't know the reporter's name, but she was interviewing Bruce Pearl, and she's like, "What are you going like? What do you think?"
He started crying.
He started crying.
Yeah,
He's
he started crying
he's
for
like,
Kiki.
He said, honestly, I just want to go hug him right now. I think that's why Auburn's they're deep right now.
Okay, do you remember when the kid from Louisville, Kevin Ware, snapped his leg,
Oh
and they went off like
They're playing. Auburn's
They won the
playing
national
for.
championship that year.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
National
They're playing for
Yeah.
something. They're playing
playing
for the
for something.
coach.
I-
Bruce Pearl is
yeah.
the man.
Yeah.
Gosh,
And
Why'd
those-
you lie, Bruce? Why'd you lie?
Those that don't know much, but Shama Okiki, he had 20 points and 11 rebounds.
Fans like, man, we want Bruce Pearl. We don't want Rick Barnes.
No, I like Rick Barnes. I like Rick Barnes.
All right, anyway, Keenan. Okiki, he had 20 points and 11 rebounds before he went down with, unfortunately, an ACL tear, out for the season, obviously, now. But yeah, like you said, Max, Auburn's playing for something deeper than them now.
Yeah.
You know, they're playing for one of their boys. And, man, Bruce Pearl is coaching some good basketball right now,
man. You just,
defensively.
Yeah, I mean.
And then the shooting is just what they do. Shoot.
Yeah.
And
Like, I don't know how long it's gonna go for, but
as long
shoot
as
while
we
you
go
can.
2 more games.
Yeah.
2 more games.
Every
that's all they
game,
need.
every game I've watched the Auburn with O'Keely in there, that guy's the best player on the court.
He's the glue. Man.
I'm telling
He's
you,
the glue.
when they're
I don't know.
playing
Jared
against
Harper's
Tennessee,
nice.
Jared
brother,
Harper and Bryce Brown are the best players.
they're good. But I'm like, when I was watching them against Tennessee, I'm like, dang, this O'Keely guy's tough.
Yeah.
Like, because he's low key bodying Admiral. You know, like he's banging.
Man, Auburn kind of reminds me of UConn and their 2 runs they had in the NCAA tournament. UConn back in 2011 and 2014 when they won the NCAA tournament, they weren't like the best team, but they got hot at the right time. Yeah. And they had that one player that stood out with Kimball Walker in 11 and Shabazz Napier in 2014. I believe Auburn has that with Bryce Brown right now. I believe Bryce Brown's that standout player for them right now, and it sounds like it looks just identical to what UConn did.
Yeah.
Going on to the round of 32, some of the more surprising games. I have 4 of them down. This is where I really knew Purdue was the real deal. They took down Villanova.
And I had Villanova winning it all in one of my brackets, and that really hurt me.
And we had Villanova in the Final Four in our bracket. Carson Edwards.
Carson Edwards is the real deal.
Is a hooper.
So I want to bring this up real quick. The beginning of the year, before we started this podcast, y'all had made that bet about Admiral Schofield going in the first round, right?
Yeah.
And I agree with you that it was possible that he can make the first round.
Yeah.
But what he needed to do was what Carson Edwards did.
Yeah.
Go from nothing and be that guy on that team.
Yeah.
Purdue was that team, and Carson Edwards was that guy.
He was.
And now he's going to be a first-round pick next year.
P.J. Washington did the same thing with Kentucky.
P.J. Washington did the same thing.
Your draft stock improves outrageously in March Madness.
Yeah.
I mean,
because that's when it matters the most.
If you look at Steph Curry wasn't even a first-rounder back when he was 2009.
Yeah.
2009 draft. He was not even a first-rounder. Yeah. Then he went on to make that Cinderella run with Davidson, and he's a lottery pick.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just when you play like that in March, man, you'll go lottery. That's where you really got to bring it. So Purdue took down Nova there, knocked one of our Final Four teams out. Another Final Four team that I had in my bracket was Tennessee in my official bracket. It was Tennessee. The Tennessee and Iowa game, man. Tennessee's up by 25.
Yep.
Let's an Iowa team come back, forced to overtime, and Tennessee
should have lost. Honestly,
they should have lost. They should have lost.
It was
that
a head
game.
Scratcher.
That's just kind of like, man, Tennessee, you can't put yourself in that type of situation. You know,
the opposite happened in the next game.
Well, it looked like it happened a lot. I didn't watch the first game. They only won by 7
against Colgate.
They came back. Colgate came back.
They did the same thing with Iowa, and I did watch the Purdue-Tennessee game.
The opposite happened.
Yeah, so while we're on Tennessee right now, Max, you probably have more of an insight on Tennessee than any of us, being a Tennessee fan. Why is Tennessee in such close games through the tournament?
I mean that's just how we play. I think we're just gritty. We stoop down to people's.
I was going to say, do you agree you played a level competition?
I think we played a level competition.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
You know, because when we got Gonzaga, we was. You know,
he was hooping. When you played Kentucky, you was hooping.
We was hooping. I mean, like, I think we just play down to people's level.
I think it comes out. My analysis on Tennessee right now is it comes down to the scouting report and the opposing team realizes that Tennessee cannot defend the 3-pointer.
Yeah.
So they're like in the gym. Their whole practice is just shooting threes before they play Tennessee.
Yeah. And if you shoot it well, you win.
Exactly.
That Ron Klein kid strapped us.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Oh man.
Strapped us.
You talking about dude from Purdue to hit the step back, fade away, tying, 40 seconds left. That was crazy. Best shot in March Madness.
Who's that? He's also real estate in 3 years. You know, and be successful probably. You know, but like, come on. Ron Klein.
Like a lawyer for the rest of his life.
Come on. He's gonna make good money probably.
But that's the question. How did Purdue win that game? 3-pointers.
Yeah, the strap was like that.
No question.
We talked a little bit about this earlier. Auburn blew out Kansas. Never seen a Bill Self Kansas team get beat like that in the NCAA tournament. Anyone else want to make a comment on
Kansas, this is probably
the worst
Kansas team I've seen.
Yeah, real weird.
Started out number one.
They were hurt. They're hurt.
Yeah.
They're hurt.
Started out so high.
Y'all always. That's a blue blood school for
Literally
you.
all 3 blue blood schools were at the top.
Yeah. UCF and Duke. Man, I am sick for UCF. I'm sorry, but UCF had that game.
They played better. We talked about this. They played a better game than Duke, but Duke is the better team.
Yeah, Duke's a better team, but UCF did play. They had a shot go in and out. Man, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
that was
tough.
alley-oop dunk on a fast break that would have won the game.
Let me ask you all something real quick. It's just a yes or no question. I want to go around the table. Was that an offensive foul on Zion Williamson when he drove the ball in and kind of pushed his defender off to get that and one? Yes, just yes or no. Just yes or no.
No, because he's been doing it all year.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's consistency. No, they don't call it consistently on him.
No.
I don't think it is. No.
Okay, but also on the offensive rebound on the missed free throw,
RJ pushed the crap
RJ pushed him in the back.
Over the back.
Over the back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more of a call than
the
offensive foul on Zion. Well, of course, Duke wins that game against UCF. So in the Sweet 16, really only 3 games stood out to me, was especially that Tennessee and Purdue game. Decided in overtime and a controversial call, just all in 30 seconds, really, with Carson Edwards. First, the out of bounds call, then took 6 seconds to throw it in.
Full 6. Like there's no doubt.
Yeah.
6 seconds.
They didn't catch that, and then he kicks out his leg to get the foul call.
Which
it's a shooting motion,
you
but
can't lunge. Like I get that.
Yeah,
no, because see, look, this is okay. So if you go back and watch the highlight, we're gonna be showing the highlight right now. It's not a hand-to-hand contact. It's not a foot-to-foot contact. It's a hip-to-hip contact.
Hip-to-hip.
So it's not it's the leg stick. The leg stick out wasn't the foul. It was the fact that he jumped by him.
Yeah.
If he jumped straight up, it's not a foul.
You can't lunge. Yeah, you can't.
You know,
Lamonte Turner lost that game in so many ways. Ways. Good Lord, man. Possession before. When he just threw up a lazy layup and got bailed out by Grant Williams in the putback.
Banging it.
I thought that was a lob.
I know, but
I thought it was a lob.
Oh my God.
Somebody doesn't like Lamonte.
No, look, Lamonte Turner's awful. I don't even know.
I thought that was a lob.
I cannot let that go on no more.
Listen, in overtime, you ran plays for Lamonte Turner, and that's why y'all went down 7.
Let me tell you something.
That's why you went down 7.
Let me tell you something. Lamonte Turner
will show up in the first 18 minutes of the game.
Let me tell you,
cool.
He's
last
killed
2
me.
minutes on the bench.
He has killed me, but I've seen him make me happy. Okay, he's hit some game winners.
He's the reason y'all lost to LSU in the
regular season. He's your best player, and he's your worst player.
Okay, he's Russell Westbrook.
I like Lamonte. I'm not going to put Lamonte Turner down.
That's his team too.
He said he's Russell Westbrook. Oh man! All right, are y'all done? You got finished?
Yeah,
I'm just letting you know.
I'm done.
Lamonte Turner's awful.
And it low key was a foul.
Tennessee lost. I hate that they had to lose that way with a lot of controversy going on at the end of that game. Anyway, let's move on to another SEC team that won their game and against North Carolina. Auburn just blew out North Carolina.
Blew them out.
Outplayed them.
You just can't defend a team that shoots that well from the arc, man.
That's what I'm telling my kids.
Shoot the 3 ball. Shooters shoot. Shoot it.
Let that thing fly.
That's how you win NCAA games.
If you watch that game,
you make it to the league.
That's how you make it to the league.
Facts. If you watch that UNC and Auburn game, you already know how it went. I mean, Auburn dominated that game defensively and offensively. They won that game fair and square. Another one of the fun ones, of course, it's fun to me because Kentucky won in the Sweet 16 against Houston. Man, that was a thriller. I was watching that on my phone, the final minute on my phone. And I was scared to death, but Kentucky, man, Houston has some hoopers.
Yeah.
Athletes.
Athletes. Yeah.
Like they have some athletes.
Athletes, man. Athletes.
Blocked by PJ.
Oh yeah, that
saved
us.
Saved the game.
Saved us.
The game.
PJ
That
Washington,
layup goes
man.
in. That's a whole other game.
And that's just another example of PJ Washington's draft stock rising, man. PJ really showed up in this tournament, man. And he's been a top 5 player in this tournament.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone should disagree with that.
No,
and if you
he's-
do,
he's-
I think he's.
find me.
I think he might be the best big the best like true big I've seen
In this tournament.
in this tournament.
Yeah, if you don't think PJ Washington was a top 5 player in this tournament, I want smoke.
He can make
I want-
first.
I
He
want
can
all
make
the smoke.
He can make a first team all tournament.
want all
I feel
the
like, if you were to put together a first team all tournament.
facts.
Carson Edwards would.
Carson Edwards, yeah,
Carson
for
Edwards.
sure.
Yeah, he might be.
For sure.
Maybe number
He
one.
might be my second
Second
point
pick.
guard.
And talking about Carson Edwards, what about that Elite 8 game against Virginia? Best game of the tournament.
Best game.
Best game of the tournament.
Heading
Man.
into overtime, man. It was basically Kyle Goff versus Carson Edwards
Loved
there
it.
for in that second half.
Loved it.
It was amazing to watch
Yeah.
because I mean that's just beautiful basketball when
love
they're
it.
shooting like that.
And I want to say they were going at each other, but at the end, Guy switched off of Carson Edwards. I don't know if everybody noticed that. Guy couldn't handle it because Carson Edwards was going at
I
him.
mean, he's a hooper.
He's a hooper.
You know what I'm saying? He really about
Yeah.
it. Oh, and that one moment where like when that guy hits the game time one and like he walks up to
Yeah.
Carson, they share that moment where it's like, all right, hey, nice shot. It's like, man, he's like, I told you I'd hit that. You know what I'm saying? That's how it looked. And like it was like the most like natural moment of basketball that I've
Yeah.
seen them.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
It's
saying?
Respect.
Yeah, it
It's
was respect.
for real, man. That was a great game. Like honestly,
I hate the way it ended though, with the turnover, ending your career with the turnover.
Yeah.
It does suck, man. It does. A great game though. Best game of the tournament, I thought. Let's go ahead and Gonzaga and Texas Tech, man. Texas Tech
Texas.
surprises.
Yeah.
All right. Culver's another one of those guys who are turning up in the tournament.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
end up being probably a top 5.
He's,
Top five?
he's
Top
tough.
5, top 7.
He's tough. Dude, he's like 6'5".
I don't know. I don't know.
What position is he? I see him bringing the ball up the court, right?
Shooting guard.
Guard.
Is he?
Man, I don't know about top
I don't
5, top
know.
7.
Yeah.
No. And the
Damn.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But Texas Tech, they surprised me. I did not expect them to get
He was
to
a lottery
the
pick.
Final
rejected
Four.
before.
But that one guy,
Into the tournament.
that one kid was strapping at the end. He was just stroking the number. I want to say either like 13 or 31. I don't know what his
One
number
of
was.
them.
He was strapped.
One of them. Tolliver. Culliver. That's
You
Jared
don't got a
Culliver.
picture on the wall.
I was he didn't
You know, a picture on the
even got a
wall.
Wikipedia page.
You think he'll be a top five pick?
He gonna be top 5 pick? No
He
Wikipedia
got
page.
10K. He got 10K Instagram followers. You gotta have at least 45 to get this.
Come on, Keenan.
Come on, man.
Come on, Keenan.
You got at least. You got no drip.
He got no-
Texas Tech pulls off the upset against Gonzaga, gets to the Final Four. First time they've ever been to the Final Four. First Texas basketball program to get to the Final Four since 2003, where Texas was in there. There you go, Texas. Anyways, another big, I guess, victory for all the Duke haters out there. Michigan State. Would you really call it an upset? Beats Duke.
No, that's just a good game.
I told y'all, I said this to Tyler last week, that Michigan State was going to be their toughest play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
no doubt.
I said this 2 days ago when I found out they were playing Michigan State. They beat Michigan State. They were going to win the tournament.
I said this 25 seconds. I said this 2 hours ago. I get it. You said this at one point. I'm
Yeah,
messing
I
with
mean,
y'all.
Michigan State beats Duke 68-67 in a thriller. Man, Michigan State, you gotta think that they're the favorite to win it all. You beat Duke, so
You have
who
to
can you not beat?
I think-
That's their mindset.
I think
It's like, man, we just
Virginia's
beat
the
Duke.
only-
Virginia's the only other one.
Dude,
Yeah. If I'm going to say this for everyone out there, y'all can quote me on this. If Michigan State doesn't play UVA, I'm not watching the championship game. I promise you
oh
I'm not.
man. Okay, so anyway,
I feel like you. What if like they end up playing Texas Tech and they Texas
No.
Tech just start hooping on them?
James, I'll
I'm
let
gonna watch
you.
it overtime if it goes to overtime.
So there's 3 of the Elite 8 games right there. I'll let you state the next one because I'm not talking about it.
Kentucky and Auburn.
Yeah,
What's wrong with the
He said,
Kentucky and
yeah.
Auburn game?
no comment.
Well, okay, so with the Kentucky and Auburn game, Auburn shot well. Like you can't deny that. You can't really stop a 3-point shot.
Yeah,
It's hard, and it's hard to defend. But Kentucky
I'd probably lock them up.
Kentucky should have won that game. I mean, there's not really an excuse. But
Cried.
you know who my favorite player was?
Who?
From Kentucky, number 2. What's his name?
Oh,
He played great.
yeah, Hagen.
Hagen.
Yeah,
Yeah, he didn't do bad at all.
Well, he saved me some money.
No comment.
I sent him a text for a game. I said, "Hey, bro, I got 25 on this." You know, he's like, "I bet."
Yeah,
He's
I
like,
said
"Alright."
50. And I said I give him
He
half.
said, he said, bro, you know I got you."
No comment. You can just check my Twitter.
How many turnovers did he have?
How many guys blew by him?
I'm surprised he didn't throw like one of them an alley oop.
I want to say it was 10. No,
You might as well
9.
just hand the ball over to the ref, bro.
It's 9 or
Just
10, something like that.
$1,000 for turnover.
Damn.
Hey, I'll take
Dang.
it.
How much does it cost out of Kentucky?
I got 20 turnovers.
No comment.
No comment.
All right,
comment.
next
Oh,
game.
no.
Next game,
Oh,
man.
no.
There's no next game. It's the Final Four now. Anyway, now we wait till Saturday for the Final Four.
Love
There's
that.
no next game for Kentucky.
Oh.
No comment.
Sorry, that was funny.
There's no next game for Duke. Sit back down, bro. I got you.
There has been no next game for Tennessee for a while.
Ah,
Yeah, get out of here. Get out of here.
what?
I hate basketball.
You lost.
Yeah.
Does
We
it
all
really
did.
matter?
We all did.
We went to the Elite Eight. He didn't win it, you know?
Sports are not good for my health.
You know, you didn't win it, so it doesn't really matter. I'm not proud of going to
Dang.
Sweet 16.
Okay, let's just look at the Final Four right now. We got Auburn. I guess that's your Cinderella team as a 5th seed. Playing
Cinderella.
Virginia, number 1 seed. And then on the other side, you got Michigan State, number 2 seed, playing Texas Tech, who is a number 3 seed. Guys, who do you think is going to be in the championship game looking at this Final Four?
You already know who I want to be in it. Michigan State and Virginia.
I got it. It's going to be Auburn and Texas Tech.
If that is the championship
Did that on
game,
purpose.
not only will I not watch, I
watch it.
will protest.
What? That'd be amazing.
I will protest.
Come on.
I'm
you know how happy
going-
Charles Barkley's going to be.
Shout out Chuck.
Did you see the thing? He was like, "Why don't you wear your jersey?" He said, "It didn't fit."
No, it doesn't fit.
Anyway, I got Michigan State
Charles.
and Auburn in my championship
I
game.
got Michigan State and Auburn.
Yeah, and then I honestly think Auburn wins it all, just because they have the chapters that are coming together with this story
It'd
right
make him.
now.
I'd watch that
It's
EC.
probably the best story. It'd be the best story.
I mean,
Duke
I
would be
mean,
the best
the
story.
NCAA.
Okay,
From
yeah.
here on out.
Okay, I guess Duke would be the best story when you come out with the favorite coming into the season.
Yeah.
Because
There's
They're
already
the
been a
perfect
script
game for the
made for
perfect-
Auburn's basketball team this year in 2019 for them to make this run, so that they can make a documentary about it in the future.
100%.
So
They're
it's
going to come
rigged.
back 20 years later,
Rigged.
old and you know, not
Rigged.
looking the same. They're going
Nah,
to be like, man, that was crazy.
I'm just joking, man. Anyway, so
we didn't believe it until Coach walked in there. He said, y'all got it. He said, we got it, Coach.
out of the Final Four.
I didn't think about this stuff. Like, you just,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Out of the Final Four, on to our next segment. That's the 2-minute rundown like we always have. Tyler, start a 2-minute timer for us. And let's answer these
You know,
6
Max-
questions.
Max,
Ready?
Yeah.
you gonna stay in 2 minutes?
Yeah.
All right.
Set. Go. Number 1. Thoughts on Tom Izzo yelling at Aaron Henry.
Everybody's soft, bro. Everybody who complains about it soft.
Every basketball player has been through this. You got to suck it up and just.
Every
You're
athlete-
mad. You
every
get your
athlete.
fist balled. You suck it up.
That's good
dude.
coaching.
Yeah.
I respect it.
That's great coaching. That's why they're in the Final Four.
Facts. Question number 2. Thoughts on the passing interference rule change in the NFL?
Boy, I hope it works. Like, I hope it works. If it doesn't, like, it's...
The only way it won't work is if it's overused, and as long as you don't overuse it, it's fine. Since we have the technology to use it, why don't we use it? I've always wondered that.
Yeah, and like you said, I think it's going to be overused and it's going to become more problematic than problem solving.
Yeah, And
Because
if it is
it's going to be
overused,
overused.
it will be.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling you about,
Right.
Max.
I think it's good. You know, I think it had to be done after that crazy no call in that Saints game.
That
No
was
comment.
unacceptable.
You know, usually when people are mad about
2 minute
something,
rundown.
you know,
All right, number 3. Where does James Harden's season this year rank for you all time?
Offensively, it's the best offensive season of all time.
Number 1.
He just wanted to
Number
say
one.
that. He just wanted to say that to piss me off. I would say top 10.
what?
I would say top 10.
Top
You
7.
can't even talk... No, I ain't gonna
Top 5, actually. Give me top 5.
I mean,
2 minutes.
yeah, I mean, he's top 5. It's probably top 5, top 10.
Top 5.
Top
Okay.
5, top 5.
We just got done talking about the NCAA tournament. Who's your biggest surprise team?
Auburn.
Purdue. How did you not
Auburn.
Auburn already? Oh.
Auburn.
Yeah, because I didn't expect this
I
from
didn't
them at all.
expect
After New
Purdue.
Mexico State, didn't expect
You
it.
tell me Auburn's going to the Final Four. I'd be
20
like, brother,
seconds.
you
Number
stupid.
5. Who is your rookie of the year?
Trae Young.
Luka Doncic.
Trey Young.
Luka Doncic.
Okay. And is Old Town Road country or hip hop?
Old
It got
Town
taken after
Road.
country
All
charts.
right, it's a country song with hip hop
Till I
undertones.
can't
I agree.
no more.
It's country, and hip hop is overtaking country. What's up? All right,
That's 2 minutes.
that's 2 minutes. We did it.
It's a
Kyle,
song.
I don't know,
Did
man.
you kind of do it? That was kind of
That was a close call. That
That's
was
a
a
tie.
close
I don't
call.
know.
I don't know if we got that. But
All I know is
anyway, I want to take a quick moment of silence. And Nipsey Hussle just passed away right before we started recording this show. got shot in L.A.
due to gun violence.
Yeah, and we had a long talk about that. I know this is a big mood switch here, but we just want to give that moment of silence and thoughts and prayers and everything to an iconic rapper and influencer in American society. R.I.P. Nipsey Hussle, man. Anyway, thank you for that, and thank you for tuning in to the Bounce Back Podcast. Shout out to all the fans. Much love for y'all. We really do appreciate you all. This was episode 10. March Madness Rundown. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Yes, we're in double digits now. Hit that subscribe button. Keep watching the Bounce Back Podcast, and join us next time.
That was whack. Is there a fan blowing?
I got it.